If you want to grow, you gotta go.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's V back again. About to drop another bango on you. You feel me? No, I'm just kidding. So today's topic: if you want to grow, you gotta go. If you're watching this video right now, it is not by coincidence. It is you were supposed to see this video. God led you, higher power, universe, whatever you want to call it, has led you to this video on purpose. All right, let's jump right into it. All right, so what do you mean when you say, if I want to grow, I gotta go? Like, that don't make any sense to me, because you're basically trying to tell me that I can't grow where I'm at and where I've been. Okay, I see your point. But if you have been around the same type of influence and nothing has changed about your life, you better go. If you've been in the same relationship and you have not grown and gotten better and learned how to deal with situations, you gotta go. If you have certain friends in your life and they haven't helped you benefit and you haven't benefited them, and you're still doing the same things that you was doing 5 6 years ago, going to the same clubs, hanging with the same people, the same drama, bro, the whole point of life is to evolve. You have to evolve into something greater, something better. What is it that you're trying to get to? I see people, like when I go back to Texas, where I'm from, I go back to San Antonio and see some of the people I went to high school with still doing the same things. Like, bro, you ain't grow. Still rocking the same hairstyles from back when we was rocking them. Y'all remember the fan? You know what I mean? Still doing the same things. Like, wow, at what point did you grow? I realized when I left Texas, I grew. I grew. I grew as a woman. My perspective changed on life. The things that I thought were cool, I realized were not so cool, because it took away from my moral. It took away from the respect that I had for myself and the respect that people in turn ended up having for me. Certain people, if you hang around a certain crowd, like let's just say you hang around a whole bunch of girls who are just thoughts, or just have no sense of moral or class, and you're not like that, but you're with them, everybody gonna think you like them. Okay, so I know most of my audience are young girls, college girls, high school girls, and stuff like that, and I have a lot of women as well. But this is, if this message resonates with you, then this is for you, no matter what age, how old you are. So yes, understanding, if you are in a relationship and that man did not help you grow at all. For me, I was in a 7 year marriage, bro. I was in a 7 year marriage and I didn't learn squiggly dot did. I didn't learn how to communicate. Why? Because when we got into arguments, I was shut down. First, I used to be the communicator. Then when I seen that I wasn't getting it, wasn't being reciprocated, I started to be the one to shut down. Then I started to be the one, like, whatever. When we in a car, you get an argument, you just look out the window. When you get home, you go to one side, the other person go to the other side. We never learned how to communicate. I didn't learn how to communicate. I didn't learn about paying bills. I did not learn anything, like how to manage like a household and stuff. Anything that I did learn, I taught myself. It wasn't like the relationship taught me that, you know. So yeah, how can you be with somebody for 7 years, day in and day out, and learn nothing? You learn nothing. Like, I look back and I literally had a list. I tried to write down a list of what did I learn, and when I say nothing, And it ain't even because like I'm trying to be like rude or anything. Like if I learned something, I did, but I didn't. I learned what I don't want, I guess. You know, so anyways, so knowing when it's time to go, even for me in that relationship, and I guess I speak a lot about it because, you know, that's my life or whatever. But when I got out of that last situation, that last thing that tipped the edge over for me, when it became domestically abusive, physically abusive, my mother always said, if he hits you once, he'll hit you again. And I didn't wait around for again to happen. I got my stuff and I was out. You know, afterwards I tried to see could it possibly or whatever, but I couldn't get that image out of my head. Like I couldn't go back to that same place, that same house, and that same environment and remember what took place and where it did, be it the kitchen, the living room, and not think back on that moment. I couldn't. I knew that I deserved better. I didn't know what better was. I knew it wasn't that though. So you know what I mean? So I had to leave that relationship to say to myself, you know what, girl? You deserve better. You don't deserve for somebody to put their hands on you. You don't deserve to be finding out about no other woman or whatever. You deserve somebody who's about you, who loves you, who is completely into you, who has your best interest at heart. You know, that's what you deserve. And knowing when it's time to go. I knew I was unhappy early on. I remember having notebooks and notebooks of just writing down how sad I was, you know? And I was just like, man, like I want to get out of this, but you know, I just got married. I don't want my family to look at me, you know, like, oh, you know, you got married or whatever the case is, and now you back home. You know, by this point, I think I was pregnant with my first child, my son, and it was just like, but even that was like, no, I'm gonna fight for this. I'm gonna make it work. I never seen a successful marriage growing up or whatever. I don't want that for myself, and just forcing it. And then when the child came, it was worse because now I was like, I got my family, you know, like I have my family now. Now it's my family. I don't want to leave my son away. Blah blah blah. Man.
Hell no. Come on to the no, no, no. Hell to the no.
I am not somebody who condones divorce. I'm not out here. I'm not a advocate for, you know, breaking up and everything like that. But what I am an advocate for is self-love, self-happiness, and understanding that in order for anybody else around you to be happy, you have to be happy. In order for anything else around you to be successful, you got to be successful. So within yourself, you know, you can't depend on somebody else to make you happy, somebody else to make you feel, you know, good about yourself and all this other stuff. It ain't gonna work. Because when they get tired of doing that for you, you gonna be out of there. Like, you're not gonna know what to do with yourself. So knowing when it's time to go, even if it's a job, and it's toxic people, they're bringing you down, your work is not being appreciated, your checks ain't even coming in on time or in the amount that it's supposed to be, you know, your boss talks to you crazy, like disrespectful. I mean, all the things that could possibly be toxic. When you get up in the morning and you feel mentally and physically drained, like you will die before you even get to work just because you know you about to go to work. That type of feeling, man, listen, that toxicness, if you don't have the strength, you have to get the strength up to say, I deserve better. I choose me. I choose my life. I choose happiness. Because when you're not happy, when you're in a toxic environment, even let's just say it's work, you bring that home. Your children see that. Your husband, your spouse, with significant other, whatever, they see that in you. You don't want to come home. You're not trying to be intimate. You're not trying to play with the children. All you're trying to do is sleep so you can hurry up and make sure you're up on time to be back in that toxic environment. Okay? If it's a friendship, even if it's friends, you hanging around with a whole bunch of women or men, because trust me, men, they gossip too. Okay, so a whole bunch of guys or girls who are just gossiping, you just around the wrong crowd. All these dudes talk about is the girls they smash. All the girls talk about is the dudes who want to smash them, and just,
you know, the drama with this, drama in that, drama in the church. She thinks she better. The deacon is that. The Muslim, she don't cover right. She used to wear niqab. Or she don't pray. She's a
I
zanny.
mean, like, bro. When I say, when I thought I was doing the most righteous thing at the time, I seen you can still be around people, religious or not, who still don't necessarily have your best interest at heart. Just because they wear a burqa and niqab don't mean that they're better than the sister who doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, knowing to be able to separate yourself from certain things, because this person who's wearing the burqa and niqab got a tongue like a snake. You know what I mean? And will rip you. Like, literally talk about you bad behind your back, but smile in your face.
What they can do off of you? Oh, really?
Okay. You know, so you just got to be careful. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are in life, knowing when your vibe attracts your tribe. And that's the most realest thing I can say in this video, because your intuition will tell you when something is off. Do you hear me? It will tell you when a girl don't mean your best interest, when a guy is off, everything, family member, it will tell you. It will tell you. So trust in it, believe in it. We have it for this reason. But, you know, certain friendships, girls who just want to be up in your marital situation or your relationships, or, you know, always want to know what's going on, the gossip and traits, you have to remove yourself from that. Be around people who are uplifting, who are wanting to do the same things that you are wanting to do, who are inspiring and, you know, just positive. The moment they hear you talking about somebody else, they shut you down, but in a nice and calm way. Hey, listen, we don't do that around here. And if it is that something is wrong with that person, why don't you make sure you go and address that person, and, you know, see if maybe y'all could work it out, because we don't have room for that over here. You know what I mean? That type of vibe. So yeah, I'm looking down because I have wrote some notes, but it looks like I covered everything in regards to knowing when it's time to go. In order for you to grow and to be in that best thing that you feel like you can be, you have to remove yourself from those things that are holding you down, those toxic relationships, marriages, friendships, jobs, anything that can possibly keep you away, because what you're looking for is looking for you. That's it. And that's y'all. You know, what you're looking for is looking for you. It's on the other side, but you got to kind of get out of there to see that. In another video, I'll speak about how I met this girl. Just an amazing girl, man. Like a cool, dope girl. And I met a whole bunch of positive women one day. She wasn't even with them, but she knew them and she was friends of them. She was friends with them. I ended up going to another place, and out of everybody who was at that place, I stopped and I talked to her. Later on, I found out through Instagram, when I seen all her mutual friends were all these girls who were full of positivity and everything else like that. She was friends with them. And I was like, what in the hallelujah? How out of everybody that I could have possibly met, I met you. And you're friends with them. But it just took me, and how I met those girls. I was driving one day and they was all pretty and just cute, and they was all standing outside in the street, and I just pulled over. I was like, y'all are killing it. And they was like, what? We started talking. I got out the car and the rest is history. You know what I mean? So putting that positive energy out there, it's going to be reciprocated. But first, in order for you to grow, you're gonna have to go. So I hope I was able to help some of you guys, shed some light on your situation. Yeah. So, anyways,
Subscribe if you haven't already.
Hit the bell notification so you notify when I drop that next thing. My son said when I do this, I look old. Like, I don't think I know. Am I doing it right? Anyways, until next time, love y'all. Nah.